It's a Goldilocks experience. Some heating and air conditioning contractor prices are too high. There's an extra charge for everything. Some advertised prices are too low. Like not real. Contact Styles Heating and Cooling, the company that is just right. Styles has been keeping area homeowners comfortable for more than 50 years. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Styles repairs it right the first time and replaces only what can't be repaired. See us on the web at stylesair.com.
Get away from football. Do it right. Rely on Ramjack.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
From the station that's on your side. Breaking news.
Well, breaking news just in a newsroom in the last 15 minutes. We're learning that a Wagner-Salley high school teacher was flown to AU Hospital after a power pole fell on them.
This all happening around 12:30 on Main Street North in Wagner today. The South Carolina Highway Patrol says the teacher was walking along Main Street when a tractor trailer struck overhead power lines, causing that power pole to fall on the teacher. Now, these are photos shortly after that accident happened. Wagner-Salley High School canceled all after-school activities today because of how close that crash was to the school. Now, this is right down the street near the little bake shop and deli. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated as we work to find out more on this teacher's condition.
Well, most abortions are now illegal in South Carolina before the time that many women know that they're pregnant. Today, the all-male state Supreme Court upheld South Carolina's 6-week abortion ban in a 4-1 decision.
It is just 8 months after it ruled a nearly identical law was unconstitutional. With the new law now in effect, our State House reporter Mary Green explains what this means for South Carolinians.
This is devastating.
I'm not terribly surprised. I felt like it would ultimately go this way. I'm obviously gratified that it did.
The Fetal Heartbeat and Protection from Abortion Act bans abortion after around 6 weeks into a pregnancy. It allows limited exceptions to save the mother's life for sexual assault survivors up to 12 weeks and with a reporting requirement, and when the fetus has a fatal anomaly that would prevent it from surviving outside the womb.
I'm outraged. I think this is a tragic decision that's going to have widespread consequences for women in this state.
In the majority opinion, Justice John Kittredge wrote, quote, "The legislature has made a policy determination that at a certain point in the pregnancy, a woman's interest in autonomy and privacy does not outweigh the interest of the unborn child to live. As a court, unless we can say that the balance struck by the legislature was unreasonable as a matter of law, we must uphold the act." That's what the court did in a 4-1 opinion released Wednesday, a reversal of the 3-2 decision from January that struck down the state's previous 6-week ban.
Focus that we had on the previous court opinion and trying to address those concerns paid off.
The court's makeup also changed in that time.
It made a difference that we had a different justice. I think that clearly made a difference. But
prior to this ruling, abortion had been legal in South Carolina through about 20 weeks into a pregnancy. That was one of the least restrictive limits in the Southeast, and DHEC reported the number of people from other states seeking abortions in South Carolina had skyrocketed since last fall.
Not only does this policy mean that we're not going to have the destination state, but we're probably also going to almost certainly going to reduce what we were having historically anyway. So in that respect, I mean, it's a big win for life.
This decision is devastating, not only because of the impact it will have on South Carolinians, but also because South Carolina is a critical state for access across the entire South.
Lawmakers say the law is likely to stay in place for the time being.
Well, shifting gears to weather now as we take a live look outside I-20 in Grovetown here in just a gorgeous afternoon as we send things over to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. And Riley, we have some Green Jackets baseball tonight. A great night to get outside to the ballpark.
Oh, yeah, well, a great night to head out to the Savannah River and SRP Park. It's going to feel a lot better tonight out there than what it felt like yesterday. So temperatures are feeling anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees cooler right now than where we were at just a short time ago yesterday. 9 degrees right now in Aiken. And with dew points in the mid-60s, it's finally feeling a lot better for us. Remember, just yesterday in Augusta, we hit a high temperature of 97. 90 is the highest we've been able to get to so far today at Bush Field. So luckily, feeling much cooler out there for us. And you can actually see see that we're kind of one of the lucky few actually seeing a break from really intense heat and humidity. You can see here in Augusta feeling like 92. You go a short drive down to Atlanta, they're feeling like 97. So a rare afternoon to where our temperatures here in Augusta are actually cooler than what is actually feeling like in Atlanta. And you can see really hot temps. Feel like temps up to 109 there in Memphis, Tennessee. So luckily that is staying west of us. We had that backdoor cold front that moved through out today, and that's going to continue to keep that dry air in place at least through tonight. So feeling good if you are heading out to the ballpark tonight. First pitch 7:05. Warrior Wednesday, also Silver Jackets discounts out there. Temps will be in the 70s towards the ninth inning. Have an update on how long this night's weather sticks around in just a bit. Let's get a quick update on your First Alert traffic.
And now, First Alert traffic.
All right, first looking at I-20 and Riverwatch Parkway. It doesn't look like we're seeing too much of a slowdown here. Looks like traffic moving okay if you're crossing over the state line. A lot of blue sky over Richmond County and Columbia County as well, going out to the gateway of Grovetown. Lewiston Road's looking pretty busy, folks. I would imagine you do kind of reach some slower traffic there, crossing over the overpass, and even off the exit, looks like there's a good flow of traffic there off I-20. Have an update on how long this nice weather sticks around for you in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Riley. Aiken voters are. Thanks for keeping us updated with that, Nick. We know that you'll continue to follow this, a close race that we're all keeping our eyes on.
New in the last couple of hours, authorities found a body in the search for a missing 2-year-old out of DeKalb County. That 2-year-old is Josiah Mitchell, but police are not confirming the body that they found is his. Mitchell originally went missing last Wednesday. His father, Artavius North, told authorities the toddler was kidnapped during an armed robbery, but police say this is a lie, and North became a person of interest in the case. He is charged with making false statements and filing a false report.
A high school senior could be paralyzed for life after he was shot at a football game in Clayton County. 18-year-old Isaiah Thomas was shot Friday night after the game while he was there waiting for a ride share. Investigators say an unidentified suspect tried to rob him, and before he could do anything, he was shot 3 times, hitting him in the lungs and the spine.
He's very athletic. He's enjoying, he enjoyed playing sports. And just to have that kind of like taken away, he's positive though. He's grateful. He says it. He said, I am so happy that I'm here and I'm alive. And I believe that's what's keeping him.
Investigators have not given any information about the suspect, who Thomas described as a teen. However, the Clayton County School District plans to increase security at its games.
A woman is sentenced to 10 years in prison for deliberately driving through a parade in Rincon, Georgia. That's about 45 minutes north of Savannah. The wild moment was caught on camera last June. Anthony Rodriguez drove through a police barricade, ignored police demands to stop, and drove into the Let Freedom Ring parade. Nobody was seriously hurt. A jury found Rodriguez guilty on 11 counts, including aggravated assault. The Rincon community also honoring a police officer's quick thinking, crediting Ian Gallagher with saving lives when he moved his patrol car in Rodriguez's way.
A Georgia teen is heading to the Olympics next year in a sport you may not have heard of before. Just ahead, we'll show you how she qualified to compete on the world stage. Riley?
And we're looking at a beautiful night across the area. Low temperatures dropping down into the 60s. So starting off our Thursday on the relatively cool side. We'll see how long these temps stick around just after the break.
A force in the pet community here, Dr. Emily Martin is known to help any and all animals she comes in contact with. Now people are coming together to help her in return. Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're hearing from local vets who are lending a hand to one of their own.
Welcome back. Looking live over a month.
Which hotel? I'm great at this. Dance your fees in the spa-like bathroom. Or enjoy local craft beers with breathtaking views at the Cambria. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
It's the Rooms to Go Labor Day.
Welcome back. Looking live over our Beach Island camera. We got a little bit of a haze in the sky out there, but temperatures are feeling a lot better this afternoon, at least comparing to what we felt like yesterday. 89 degrees being reported out at Bushfield. It does feel like 93, so there's a little bit of a heat index, but luckily dew points have dropped down to the 60s, so definitely feels a little bit better outside for us. Now, if you are heading out to SRP Park, first pitch 7:05 against the River Dogs. We're hoping they can actually score a run. I think it's actually been 19 innings before since the Green Jackets have scored a run, believe it or not. So we're hoping offense can kind of pick up the bats a little bit better today. First pitch, we should be in the upper 80s. We'll fall down to the 70s during the end of game time. Should be really nice baseball weather there along the Savannah River. So best of luck out there to the Green Jackets. Our current heat index across the area, you can see it's a little bit better the further east you go and a little bit hotter the further west you get. So right here in Augusta, we're in the middle, currently feeling like the low 90s, but a few spots in our South Carolina counties have been feeling like the 80s all afternoon long. Now, temperatures will gradually tick up over the next couple of days, and humidity will as well. We'll likely see that heat index between 100 and 105 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and possibly even into early next week before we do see some relief later next week. So take advantage of the nice night we have. Late tonight into early tomorrow morning, we're going to drop down into the mid-60s. This is going to feel great if you're going to be up early tomorrow morning around sunrise. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be a little bit hotter than today, most likely between 92, 94 degrees for most spots, and hanging on to generally sunny skies. May see a few clouds pass overhead at times tomorrow. So waking up nice and comfortable. Afternoon highs reaching the 90s, not too far away from average, and still very little rain in our forecast, at least through Saturday. And you can see Saturday actually is forecast to be our hottest temperature moving forward into the forecast, where we could get close to 100. And it is definitely going to be feeling closer to 100 as we get past tomorrow. So Thursday afternoon, mid to upper 90s on the feel-like temperatures. But by Friday, we're taking a look at anywhere from 100, 106 possibly in a few spots. So pretty toasty conditions. And this will continue into the weekend forecast. Now, late into the weekend, Sunday, early next week, it does look like our temperatures drop off a little bit. And that's going to be thanks to our next front getting close to the area, so that is going to bring back a little bit better opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms. We are kind of getting a little bit dry out there, so rain will be welcomed as we end off the weekend.
All right, thank you, Riley. Georgia will be represented at the Summer Olympics next year in Paris.
Amanda Rose talks with a Kennesaw State student ready to climb to the top.
6.67 seconds. That's how long it takes Emma Hunt, the speed climber on the left, to scale this 15-meter wall. And now the 20-year-old's rising to new heights, heading to the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris.
She climbed out of her crib at 9 months old, and that's when I was like, okay, she's a climber.
Hunt started rock climbing with her family at just 5 years old. Her mother, Jennifer, tells us it was a hobby turned passion for the Kennesaw State student, who decided in 2015 to pursue a specialty in speed climbing. The sport, making its Olympic debut at the 2020 Tokyo Games, has competitors race to the top of a wall using grips for their hands and feet.
I just fell in love with it. I found it so addicting, and just the chance to keep going faster was so exciting to me.
Today, Hunt holds the U.S. women's record for speed climbing, also earning a silver medal in the Speed Climbing World Championship in Switzerland in August.
Watching her compete was just surreal.
Come next summer, the athlete heads to the world stage once again with her harness and chalk in hand, ready to bring home that Olympic gold.
It's the top of the top. It's the best of the best. I want to be there and represent my country.
And I've never heard of something like that. She's like Spider-Man going up the wall right there. That's crazy.
Incredible. I don't think I can walk as fast as she can climb.
No, you have to be very coordinated to do something like this. With your hands going, your feet hitting the right spot at the right time. That's wild. And there are also 338 days until the Olympics begin, and we will surely watch that.
Yeah.
Because that's awesome.
And we will watch her stand on that podium with a gold medal around her neck, no doubt.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
All right, stick with us. We'll have much more coming up after a short break. As college
theaters Friday. When the cranes go up,
FireBaby.com. Click, click.
As college kids head back to school, some will join fraternities, and those who do that will shell out hundreds of dollars for insurance required for membership. But our national investigative team discovered the protection they pay for may be meaningless.
That's thanks to what one attorney calls a scheme. While not all national fraternities operate this way, our national investigative reporter Josie Stern discovered many are able to shift liability for hazing and alcohol incidents back onto fraternity members.
Nothing but a bright future ahead.
Pictures show Nicholas Maurizio left for college, a bright-eyed young man ready to take on the world. But he didn't come home with that same shine.
Cocked his fist back and hit me as hard as he could. I got knocked out completely on contact.
The punch that changed him, part of a hazing tradition during Nicholas's first meeting as a brother of Alpha Epsilon Pi in April 2018. It fractured his skull and left him with permanent damage.
It broke me, Josie.
Maurizio's family sued the young man who hit him, 6 of his fraternity brothers, and the national fraternity, claiming leadership at AE Pi knew about hazing problems at the Florida State chapter, but they still took no action to enforce their own policies and protect him.
They kind of like to go under the assumption that even though we're a national fraternity, we're not responsible for what our local chapters do. Like, that's their position that they're put in, and I think that kind of skates them away from responsibility most of the time.
The top of the fraternity industry has lots of very smart men that take the advice of lawyers with a great deal of experience on how to evade responsibility for the injury and death they caused.
Attorney Doug Fearberg says the fraternity system uses secretive schemes and tactics that allow national organizations to assert control over local chapters when it suits them, while also washing their hands of responsibility when it doesn't. How they've done it is outlined in a confidential memo he supplied to our team from a meeting of the Fraternity Executives Association. Is it a smoking gun?
It's a gun they never wanted to be seen.
The memo outlines a strategy called conscious separation, where national fraternities are encouraged to limit their awareness and oversight of what happens at their local houses, because more involvement equals more potential liability, with executives told prior knowledge of improper acts is fatal.
It's the appearance of separation when separation is necessary to prevent individuals who've been hurt or killed from recovering against the entity that should be paying.
Who pays began to change in the 80s when insurance companies essentially abandoned the fraternity industry as alcohol and hazing related deaths skyrocketed.
You know, we needed to do something.
David Eastlick was once executive director of Delta Kappa Epsilon's national organization and part of the movement to solve the industry's crisis by banding frats together to create their own insurance system. The policies they use generally give full coverage to the national organization, but leave the college students involved virtually unprotected.
It's meaningless insurance. They are absolutely paying for nothing.
The lobbying group that represents fraternities nationally wouldn't do an interview, but says their members don't provide coverage for actions that intentionally endanger others, break the law, or violate fraternity policies. Other organizations that represent fraternity executives, advisors, attorneys, or their insurance companies wouldn't comment.
With the way the fraternities have insulated themselves and played this charade, their mothership has never truly gotten hit financially.
The Mauricios agree. They resolved their case against Alpha Epsilon Pi, although the fraternity wouldn't comment further, saying they continue to invest in their health and safety program, working hard every day to educate and train their members and reform risky behaviors. Still, Nicholas and his family believe the national fraternity avoided the kind of major blow he couldn't.
It will be a battle for the rest of my life.
Now, there are questions about how well informed fraternity members are about insurance coverage exclusions related to hazing and alcohol.
And although some documents we've seen do inform members that they could lose coverage, it's often buried deep in the materials they're given, and it's left in the hands of the chapter to distribute those materials and make sure they're informed at annual meetings. Riley?
Well, we are seeing some brief relief from the intense heat and humidity, but it is making a return by this weekend. High temps are going to be close to 100 both afternoons. Now look at that full 7 day just after a quick break.
12.
Well, live look over SRP Park. We do have the Green Jackets taking on the River Dogs, 7:05 tonight. And if you missed the game tonight, we will continue home games all the way through the weekend. But tonight's the best night to check out the Green Jackets. Temperature's not too bad. We're close to 90 degrees, and temperatures will actually be in the 80s by the start of game time and falling into the 70s. So relatively low humidity tonight will allow those temperatures to drop a little bit quicker once that sun does go down. So as we get past sunset, we should see our overnight lows get down into the 60s, feeling very comfortable for the first part of your Thursday. Heading out to the bus stop, it's going to feel great out there. We'll have a few passing clouds, temps waking up in the 60s. Heading home from school, it's still going to be a little bit hot out there. We'll see our high temps hit the low and mid 90s across the area, hanging on to generally sunny skies most of our afternoon. No real concern for any storm chances over the next couple of days. As we head into the weekend, our next front's going to show up, and that could bring us a slight chance for a shower or storm. But skies are clearing out. We had a few clouds today, but now that backdoor cold front's moving through, bringing us that drier air tonight and also clearing out our skies. Temperatures will get warmer, though, as we head later into the week. Upper 90s Friday, near 100 Saturday, and then those storm chances back by Sunday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break as News 12 Live at 5 continues.